We live in a world that never stops demanding more from us. More success, more achievement, more perfection, everywhere you look. The message is clear. You're not enough as you are. You must push harder, be better, achieve more, and strive for some unattainable version of perfection that doesn't even exist. But in this endless chase, in this pursuit of impossible standards, we've lost something incredibly precious: ourselves. We become our own harshest critics. The voices in our heads are ruthless, always reminding us of what we haven't done, what we're not, how we've failed. We tell ourselves that we should be stronger, smarter, more disciplined, that we should somehow be perfect. And when we're not, when we inevitably fall short, we punish ourselves. We deny ourselves the one thing we need most: compassion. But here's the truth. Self-compassion is not a luxury. It's not something you earn after you've reached your goals or proven your worth. It's a necessity. It's the foundation of your emotional well-being, the core of your resilience. Without it, no matter how much you achieve, it will never be enough. You will always feel like you're failing, always feel like you're chasing something you can never catch. Let me ask you this. When was the last time you spoke kindly to yourself? When was the last time you gave yourself permission to be imperfect, to make mistakes, to be human? We're so quick to offer compassion to others when they struggle. But when it comes to ourselves, we withhold that same kindness. We act as though we must be flawless to deserve it. But here's the secret. You don't have to be perfect to be worthy of compassion. You don't have to earn it. You are already deserving, simply because you exist. Self-compassion is the radical act of accepting yourself, fully, completely, and without condition. It's about recognizing that you are not your mistakes. You are not your shortcomings. You are not defined by your failures. You are so much more than the moments when you fall down. You are the sum of your efforts, your dreams, your intentions, and your potential. But this world, this culture, it tells you otherwise. It tells you that you are only as good as your last achievement, that your worth is tied to what you can produce, what you can show, what you can prove. It tells you that being hard on yourself is the key to success, that self-criticism will drive you forward. But the reality is, self-criticism doesn't lead to growth. It leads to paralysis. It doesn't push you toward greatness. It pushes you toward burnout. Self-compassion, on the other hand, fuels resilience. It gives you the strength to keep going, even when things don't go as planned. It reminds you that it's okay to rest, to take a step back, to breathe. It's not about making excuses or lowering your standards. It's about recognizing that you are human, that growth takes time, and that real success is built on a foundation of kindness, not cruelty. Think about the way you treat a close friend who's struggling. You wouldn't berate them, tear them down, or remind them of all their failures, would you? Of course not. You would offer understanding, support, and encouragement. You would remind them of their strengths and assure them that it's okay to make mistakes, to not have everything figured out. You would offer them compassion. So why then do we treat ourselves with such harshness? The world may demand perfection, but here's the truth. It's not perfection that leads to happiness or fulfillment. It's self-acceptance. It's the ability to look in the mirror and say, I am enough as I am. It's the courage to acknowledge your imperfections and still show yourself love. That's the path to true growth. Because when you're kind to yourself, when you allow yourself to be imperfect, you create the space for real, meaningful change. Self-compassion isn't about lowering your standards. It's about understanding that the journey to growth is filled with stumbles and falls, and that's okay. It's about giving yourself the grace to fail, to try again, to move forward with gentleness, not harshness. This world is already hard enough. You don't need to add to that by being hard on yourself. Perfection is a myth. It's an illusion that keeps us trapped in a cycle of self-doubt and self-criticism. But the beauty of self-compassion is that it frees you from that cycle. It allows you to see that your worth isn't tied to what you achieve, but to who you are, and who you are is enough. When you start practicing self-compassion, everything changes. Your mindset shifts from "I must be perfect" to "I am enough as I am." Your energy moves from anxiety to peace. You stop living for the approval of others and start living in alignment with yourself. You become more resilient, more confident, more capable of facing life's challenges, not because you're perfect, but because you trust in your own strength, even when you falter. So here's the truth I want you to carry with you. In a world that demands perfection, be brave enough to show yourself kindness. Be bold enough to embrace your flaws, your imperfections, your humanity, because it's in that acceptance that real strength is born. It's in that kindness that you unlock your full potential. You are not your mistakes. You are not your failures. You are not your shortcomings. You are human, you are growing, and you are evolving. And most importantly, you are worthy of compassion, today and always. The world will continue to demand perfection from you. But the question is, will you continue to demand it from yourself? Or will you choose to offer yourself the same compassion you so freely give to others? The choice is yours. Choose wisely. Choose kindness.